9 red flags that women look for on the first date subconsciously. They're going to test you. They're going to be observant. They're looking for things that can go wrong because that is how their mind works. Their mind works in a negative emotional state: anxiety, worry, fear, etc. That's why they like guys that are emotional rocks. And so based on that information, we understand that on a first date, they're going to be looking for things that are wrong. Red flags. These are the 9 that I've identified over hundreds of first dates, and here's exactly how to pass each one. So number 1, yapping about yourself. Even worse, your work. A lot of guys get this so wrong. They think, okay, I'm gonna go on a first date and I'm gonna put on the performance of a lifetime. I'm gonna talk out of my ass. I'm gonna be so charismatic and so funny and talk about myself and be super interesting and tell her all this fascinating information. Women have the brain of a goldfish. They cannot retain the attention unless they're speaking about things they enjoy. When they're not talking about things that they like, they get anxiety because they feel out of control. They don't know what's going on. They don't understand everything. They have to act interested, and you're literally destroying desire in real time. The green flag is to ask them fantastic, relevant questions and have them talk about things that they enjoy. And this is all subconscious. Because when you're going on and on and on, they're just thinking, he doesn't care about me, he only cares about himself, is he even into me, is he even interested in me, yada, yada, yada. These are subconscious red flags that happen when you just yap about yourself. And trust me, it's even worse if it's about your work. So if she asks about your work, give her a small, minute answer and just ask it right back to her, get her talking again. Number 2, asking super personal questions about the future, about her exes, about anything of the kind. You have to understand, women are finicky. They are like scared cats, okay? If you go to a place in the conversation that is super deep or super personal and it does anything but bring up amazing positive emotions, which it will not, which is why it's number 2, they're going to have a bad date. It doesn't matter how attractive you look, how good you smell. If the conversation you have with women puts them in an emotional state that is super down and depressing and about the past, it makes them sad, and now they're thinking about that guy or their dad or whatever the case, it's going to derail the entire date. I'm telling you, it could have been going fantastic. You bring up a topic or a conversation that is super personal and negative, they will then be in that emotional state and the date will be ruined and it will kill their desire for you. Do not go super deep. Don't go super personal. And this is a subconscious red flag that women don't want to have happen. Number 3, love bombing of any kind. You have to understand, okay? Women don't really want to be liked, okay? Women want to be loving you and you kind of liking them. That's the dynamic. There's no equality. Someone always has the power. Someone always has less power. If you want things to last, if you want her to like you, you have to have the power. You have the power by not showing your cards. You have the power by making her seem like, yeah, you're interesting, you have potential, etc. Not, you look so good, God, you look amazing, I'm so happy that you came to this date. Any of that verbiage, any of that behavior, any of the energy that is bombing her with affection and love and all of these things is going to destroy any desire she even had for you. Okay? She might just be using you for a meal at that point, or a drink, or whatever it is that you're doing. You have to avoid the love bombing. Zip it. Okay? This does not increase her desire or attraction for you. It actually nukes it. So when you get inclined, because I'm assuming if you are some guy that does love bombing, you don't go out with a lot of women, and so you get too excited. You get too excited, you talk out of your ass, you can't control yourself. So if you're that guy, I want you to remember this video and just zip it. Ask her a question about something else. Go on another conversation topic and avoid the love bombing. Number 4 is a lack of decisive ability. Women really need guys that can make decisions because they cannot. Their brains can barely handle reality. And I'm being nice. I'm being polite right now. To be honest, they can't handle reality. And so when they have to make decisions, this will cause anxiety. This will cause discomfort, all of which will completely block her ability to be into you. Because for a woman to desire you and feel attraction towards you, they need to be in the right emotional state. That's the game. How we get them there in that equation is why you're watching this content and why you're working on your skills. That is the real game. And so if you do not have the ability to be decisive, make decisions for the both of you, and take decision making off her mental plate, Her mind will go to anxiety, discomfort, and feel nothing for you. Not only that, but on a subconscious level, she's going to doubt your ability as a man to be masculine, to protect, to provide. Because what does a masculine guy have to do? If you're going to protect and provide for somebody, you have to know how to make decisions. That's what providing is. You want to make some money? You better make some fucking decisions, some good ones. And women know this on a subconscious, deep level. Number 5, telling her what you're looking for. I don't care if you're 60 years old or 20 years old. This applies. Women want to have fun. They want lighthearted, easy conversation. That is the emotional state that has them feeling the most desired for you. And so what you have to understand is when you tell women, and they might ask you this, by the way, and you're just going to avoid it. You're going to sidestep it very gracefully. Because when you tell a woman, I'm really just looking for a good girl and to settle down, and I want a relationship, or the latter. I'm looking for 3 girls, or I'm looking for casual, whatever the case is, it doesn't matter. Because when you tell them exactly what you're looking for, it puts pressure on them. It puts the pressure of being exactly what you want, and because of it, they're going to shut down. They're not going to enjoy it. It's no longer fun. It feels like an interview, it feels like a job, and it feels too transactional, and it doesn't have the room and the emotion and then the energy for them to have fun and be relaxed. And so if they ask you what you're looking for, and if you're looking for serious or casual, you're going to give a very easy, small answer, kind of sidestep it. Watch one of my videos about how to answer a woman's question, so you do this the right way, and then you'll ask it back to them. What are you looking for? What are we seeing in your life right now? Something very casual like that. Okay? Because I'm telling you, when you answer it straight on, no matter what side of the spectrum your answer is on and what you're looking for, it's going to put them in a position of, I have to be this, I have to be that, don't know, pressure, I'm done. That's exactly what happens. Number 6, being cheap. This is a terrible thing you could do. Okay? If you don't want to spend that much money, select the place accordingly. Never split it. Never ask to split it. Never give any inclination that money is a problem. I don't care how much you make. This is why you have to choose your venue wisely. Because I had a guy that I had just started working with, and he was telling me about this story. And he went on a date with a girl. And she got 2 drinks, he got 1 drink. And she offered to split it because she got 2 and he got 1. And he was confused why he never heard from her again. And it's very, very simple. Women will try and bait you into these situations that make logical sense as a man, specifically around being cheap or splitting the bill. And if you cave, it's over. If you agree, it's over. Women will get disgusted by a bill splitter, by a cheap man. Just go to a less expensive place, but you always pick it up and you never worry about the price. You just do it as a man. That is the cost of doing business. That's one of the costs in our P&L, okay? Looking at our bill of dating, profit and loss, if you're not familiar, this is a cost that we have to incur. If you don't, even for the smallest thing, it's going to turn them off. Number 7, sexual eagerness. So you have to understand, getting to intimacy is a dance. It's a dance. It is a game of back and forth. It's a game of push-pull. It is not, okay, bills paid, let's go out. Like, she's not a hooker. And so what you have to understand is you can never show your eagerness to have sex with a woman. You need to be very nonchalant. You need to be very relaxed about it. You need to act like you belong. Act like you've been there before, bro. You ever heard that? Act like you've done this before. Do not act like this is your first date in 2 years. Act like you have sex all the time and you're very outcome independent about having sex with her and you could literally care less. You'd be doing her a favor. When you're in this mindset, in this frame, they're going to want you 1,000 times more. When you bring up dirty talking or pushing it or wanting it or any of these kinds of behaviors or conversations or anything of the kind, it will destroy desire, destroy it. When it comes to intimacy and having sex with her and closing, it's all about reverse psychology. It's all about acting like you don't give a shit. You don't care. Yeah, whatever. Sure. Let's go back to hang out, but I don't really know if I want to fuck you yet. Like quite literally, like you need to take that demeanor. If you make a move after the date and she is hesitant or iffy, back off completely and say, I agree. Honestly, you're great, but like, I don't know if I want that either. Watch what happens. Wait 5 minutes and watch how she wants you 1,000 times more versus you pushing the issue. Number 8, not being liked by other people. And this goes into social proof, hypergamy, and the date. And so obviously if you grab drinks, What I'm referring to is the bartender or the hostess or any of the kind. That is what I mean in this scenario on the date. You want the people at the venue to like you. Preferably go to the same venue every single time so that she can see that you are liked already. But if it's a brand new venue, make friends with the staff. Be really kind and nice and charming and charismatic to the bartender or the waiter or all of these people. Here's why it matters. Women cannot make decisions. And so they need reinforcements from other people that you are a good choice. And that's why they like guys that have other options. That's why they like guys that have friends. That's why they like all of these things, because it reinforces the comfort in their mind and the certainty that you are a guy that they should be with. If no one likes you, they're going to take their opinion over their own internal opinion, because women don't have original thoughts. And so chat up the people. Preferably, hopefully, it's a woman and she can see you run a little bit of game. Some eye contact, some niceness, some flirting, a little bit of charisma with this, hostess or bartender really goes a long way. They're going to observe your behavior with other people and say, wow, he gets along really well with other people. Other people like him. Her desire will skyrocket. Number 9, being a terrible listener. You have to understand, women want to feel like you care about them. They just want to be heard, okay? Even if you're not listening, just make it seem like you're hearing that. That goes such a long way. This is not being a nice guy. This is not being, soft or whatever. This is just being a human man that can listen to a woman and hear them out. Because they're silly and they make no sense. But when we make them feel this way, their comfort skyrockets, which equals desire. So when they are speaking about things, their work or whatever we're discussing, ask them questions about their answers. Make it very apparent that you hear what they're saying and that you're at least acting interested, okay? That's what counts. That's what matters. When you do this the right way, when you're an active listener, when you show that in conversation, oh yeah, I understand that, tell me about that, etc. And you want to know more about them and they're the ones doing the talking, that increases desire. When they tell you something, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, and then you just give your take, it doesn't affirm that you even heard them in their mind, in their subconscious mind. And so as a result, as the more you do this, they're going to be like, oh, he just talked about himself. He didn't really like me, whatever. Because you didn't affirm very clearly that you heard their answers. This is not being nice. This is human and female psychology. I'm a certified mediator, okay? I took a course in Italy about mediation, arbitration, active listening, conflict resolution. I'm telling you, this is very, very powerful. This goes well beyond just dating. This is the human brain. When you can make it very clear and apparent that you hear them, that you're listening, that etc., boom. And this can be done very simplistically, right? You can ask them further questions about their answers. You can nod and say, oh, yeah, right, yes, right? These little affirmational words when they're speaking go such a long way in their comfort towards you, their desire and their attraction towards you. If you nail this and do this all the right way, you're going to dominate your first dates. If you want me to help you become a master, click the link below and I'll see you inside.